Valve announced the Steam Deck, and I've been excited ever since. The thought of a full-blown, capable PC in the shape of a handheld isn't a new concept by any means, but with a company like Valve behind it, I know it's going to be great quality. But this brings up an interesting point, and that's what I'm going to talk about today in this video. I'm looking forward to the Steam Deck, I'm excited for the Steam Deck, but at the same time, I absolutely hate the Nintendo Switch. So allow me to explain how I'm in this situation. It comes down to a few main factors, first of which the Steam Deck is an optional device. I'm still upset that even the Steam Deck only has a resolution of 1280 by 800. Even my phone in high school was 1080p, and that was almost 9 years ago. But this is one of those things you can choose to accept or not. The Steam Deck is a companion device for someone like me, and I assume that's what it's going to be for a lot of people that get one. My home desktop is where I'm going to continue to play new and demanding games, like Battlefield 2042 for example. Meanwhile, with the Switch, I have no choice if I want to play their games. Where Microsoft and PlayStation have powerful consoles this time around, or at the very worst you could call them competent, the Nintendo Switch is barely stronger than the Wii U. Especially not more powerful in handheld mode. So far every game I've played on PS5 though has been 60 FPS or higher. Or at the very least, they give me an option to choose if I want to play a 60 FPS. And the resolution ranges from 4K, and the lowest I've seen is 1080p. And usually that's dynamic, so it won't stay there, or it's being up-rendered, checkerboarded, and it looks better. Meanwhile, the Switch maxes out at 1080p, and that's not even that common outside of remasters and re-releases. So this ties into the next factor, which is power. The Steam Deck is a strong computer on paper that can run most games at a smooth frame rate with some sacrifices. The device can even be docked like the Switch, but it's not limited like the Switch is. For one, you can use any other dock you want for the deck. You don't have to buy the specific Valve dock. And also, the Steam Deck can output up to a max of 8K. Obviously, you probably shouldn't do that, but if you want to, you can. So, and of course, some games will probably be playable in that state on this hardware, some older games or some 2D games that are less demanding. So that's a cool option to have. The Switch, however, tops out at 1080p, and only a handful of games even reach that. The Steam Deck will also benefit from being a PC to where you can choose the game's settings. So if you want to play a game like Half-Life 2 at 60 FPS, okay, just lower some settings to like medium, there you go. Or if you want to play it with higher visuals, higher resolution, alright, raise up everything, just accept that it's going to be locked at 30. On the Switch, you're stuck with what Nintendo gives you. Again, even on PS5 and Xbox Series consoles, options are starting to become more common. You can choose if you want higher frame rate or if you want higher fidelity and resolution. The third factor is portability, and when you first look here, you think that they're both equal, but the Steam Deck already has a massive advantage over the Switch, and it's not even out yet. And that is the library, and then another factor is the capability. Now when I go to a friend's house, I don't have to bring my laptop, my DualSense, my Switch Pro Controller. I can just bring the Steam Deck and I'll have everything I need to do everything. I can browse the web, I could play Halo with them. Instead of it being split screen, we each get our own screen, and I could play Halo. I'm sure the older ones could play at like 720p 60, no problem, on my Steam Deck, so we each get our own screen. And again, browse the web. I could even stream if I wanted to, but I'm not interested in that. This is also perfect for a trip, so if I go to a hotel or stay the night somewhere, I don't have to bring my laptop. I can just bring my Steam Deck in my overnight bag, and here I have a game machine, a full computer. I could charge my phone technically with this thing, or charge the Steam Deck. I could copy stuff to my phone, check my email in a more traditional fashion where I'm on a desktop environment. This thing is going to be great for portability, and again, the library it has officially is already huge. There's only a few games that Valve has said that yeah, these won't work, but that's only a few out of the countless amount of games already on Steam. And again, because this is a real computer, You can install Origin, Uplay, Epic. You can install all of this stuff, and all of that should work. The fourth factor is backwards compatibility and emulation. This is the one I'm excited about because currently Xbox is leading the charge with backwards compatibility on modern hardware, and even their solution is pretty lacking when you look at Xbox Original and Xbox 360. PlayStation is tragically lacking in no support for PS1, PS3, and PSP outside of streaming PS3 games, which is still suboptimal, and only a handful of PS2 games. Meanwhile, Nintendo only has a handful of NES and SNES games available for Switch Online subscribers. They have no Game Boy, no DS, no 3DS, no N64, no GameCube, and then Wii and Wii U are subjected to remasters that are at, again, Nintendo's will for making them. The Steam Deck will provide a better experience for legacy content on PlayStation and Nintendo than PlayStation and Nintendo actually offer. Obviously, PS3 emulation probably won't work that well on the Switch. That emulator still kind of requires a 8-core processor to get the best performance, and the Steam Deck is 4-core 8-thread, so you won't get the best performance on harder to emulate games on PS3. But the Switch will get sidelined because the Steam Deck can very easily play every Nintendo platform. The only outlier there is the Switch, because I don't know how good Yuzu will run on this Steam Deck. But if it can match or exceed the experience of playing on a Switch, there goes my reason to ever own a Switch ever again. I would still buy the game to support it, but yeah, see ya, Switch. The amount of hate Nintendo has gotten in the past few days because of this is entirely their fault. The Steam Deck wouldn't have been such a killing blow to the Switch if Nintendo did more than the bare minimum and actually released a stronger system. Instead, all they did was shrink the bezels and make the screen OLED. And of course, they added a new dock, but let's be honest, the dock they have now is what should have been there at launch back in 2017. So yeah, I despise the Nintendo Switch. I wish they made a traditional system with adequate hardware to provide an adequate experience that could at least match the PS4. The Switch can't even match the PS4, and the PS5 and the new Xbox systems are out. At this point, they're lucky they have good games, or else I would have sold this thing so long ago. I'm still going to keep it for Metroid Dread, but after that, we'll see. After that, it all depends on how the Steam Deck is, and it depends on if Nintendo actually releases something with adequate hardware in the year 2021. So again, I went through my Steam library. I saw and added about 40 games into a collection just for when the Steam Deck comes out. These are games I know I'll be able to run on it, games that are short or have short play sessions in mind. This doesn't even include the amount of games I can be playing through emulation, which, funny enough, I got a Wii U to play Wii games, and I was planning on jailbreaking it to play GameCube, but now I don't think I'll even bother. I'll have a better experience with Dolphin on the Steam Deck probably than using a modded Wii U. So again, thank you Valve for making this device. Valve does what Nintendo don't. They gave us the Switch Pro we've been asking for, and they did it on the same day that Nintendo's announced pre-orders were going up for the OLED model. So I hope the Steam Deck has a smooth launch. Hopefully, if it has any bugs or kinks, they can work them out quickly. And that's the end of the video. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you hate me for not supporting Daddy Nintendo. Yeah, let me know in the comments. Be sure to hit the like button or dislike if I got you upset. And subscribe for more content. And let me know in the comments down below how you feel. If you're getting one, what are you going to do with it? What are you going to play on it? And yeah, that's it. This has been VonRed1 signing out.